Hey, 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 Libra. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, sit down, let's hang out, talk, work through whatever it is that's coming at you. I have a very strong feeling towards relationships in this reading and us coming to the understanding of that balance, the boundaries that need to be had, and to create space for ourselves and to make sure that we are communicating what our needs are during this time. So, I want to start out with explaining here what I feel is the ground of this reading. And I got Fire Elemental, and it says ignite change, burn away the old, and forge a new path to face the world with the purpose and determination. And so, with this being said, I want to share with you that in astrology, currently Mars enters Aries and is entering Aries. And with that being said, it is going to bring on a major surge of assertiveness and, heat or tension in your relationships. And with that being said, be sure that you are speaking your truth, but be mindful of how you are communicating that, because you may be coming off as feisty or impatient or maybe even self centered. So, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to how harsh that you could be coming off. Also, let me see what else we got here as far as astrology goes. We got Pisces moon drifting through the sector of the wellness. And so it's a huge day to realize that our nervous system absorbs those of others that are around us. So it's important for us to be paying attention closely to who we are surrounding ourselves with. Is this person that you're surrounding yourself with and, making your trigger be this intense, correct? Just because astrology says that it might be happening, you need to be aware of what this is. I also feel that it would be really important to pay attention to intimacy and how vulnerable you're being, because I feel this need to protect yourself and to make sure that, and when I say that, keep your guards up, make sure you're not oversharing with people. Make sure that, and this is like trust issues here, seriously. And maybe that's why this is coming up for me, is because you're looking at those around you like, oh, um, I'm feeling something around trust here. Like, are you going to run your mouth? So be mindful of all of that. Also, sorry, I have a father in spirit here for someone, and this may be multiple spirits just trying to get a message through, but I definitely feel like he's coming forward to say that, to be mindful that at times we can, we're air signs. I'm Libra too, so I'm with you on this, but we get, you know, took away in our thoughts, and sometimes we struggle with um grounding ourselves and making sure that we are, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Let me see. Maybe I wrote something here. Yes, like rational thoughts, be more logical and carry grace and try to not react too quickly and to understand that, which I know, like, I'm literally in my Libra mind going, oh my goodness, I look at everyone's perspective from every single way that it could have come from. And I just feel so overwhelmed all the time because I want to be understanding of other people. But then sometimes I'm like, where's your understanding for mine? When am I going to matter? Because I'm always the patient one or the one that's like, oh, it's okay. It's fine with me because really, it is fine with me. It's not anything that's going to bother me, you know? But I'm always the one that makes the sacrifices and not always, but a lot of times, right? But in this trigger is what I'm saying is it's as though you need to make sure that your boundaries are there for yourself, okay? And to make sure that you are not always giving, right? There's this balance that needs to be had. And in order to see it come out in reverse. So that's telling me that there's a struggle here of the flow not happening. And when we are struggling with this flow, I mean, we're scales, right? We always got to have that balance. I want to be sure that we're not like scorekeeping here, right? Like making sure it's perfectly even all the time. It doesn't have to be all the time, right? Sometimes the life calls for us to be off balance, and it's okay that the other person is given more or that you are, right? And but sometimes it's hard for me to understand that I could be the weakest link sometimes, tongue tied. But so really, like, put some logic to whatever this conflict is. And and maybe this is coming out from more most of your relationships, right? This doesn't just have to be a loved one. So you place this wherever it is that you need to, but for some reason spirit's saying logic. But this is the base chakra card in reverse. And so this base chakra card is our foundations. It's connected to the number 4. It's making sure we're balanced and all of that. But the key to this base chakra card is it is connected to I have. And so with this being in reverse, it's I don't have, and the authority card, which is 4. Interestingly enough, right? All of this around balance, but the authority card talks about making sure that you're not oversharing and using logic around things and understanding that you do not um, you don't have to always be the one that is looking at all the perspectives, right? I don't want to go backwards here. I find myself like really drifting around, but this is so this is I don't have authority, so you don't have the you're lacking currently the logic that you need. So know that. Then I got the Destiny card here, and when Destiny comes forward, this is saying that you have good energy around you currently, opportunities coming forward. So be mindful of this. Is this could be around career, this could be around um, friendships, right? So you place it wherever it may be, but I just feel really multiple here. And I also feel like a new connection coming forward. And this could be someone you already know, but where the new connection is coming in is you and another person is just going deeper, right? There's an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about them, and that connection is there. You understand that. You've been through that as well, right? And so there's a lot around you showing up a little bit different right now, which I really love. I have the new beginnings card. And for me, lately, I have been going around making sure things are more organized and making sure that I give myself a schedule and all of these things like that, just to kind of like bring myself back down and give myself a guide of what's happening. So I'm showing up differently than I used to. And so, you fit that in your life however you choose, but it's just a whole kind of shift. I think the shift has already been like happening, but now it's like you're like, oh my gosh, I just have been learning so much and I feel different. And that may be why this is triggering something in your relationships, in your friendships, because you're showing up different now. And so sometimes that is lacking, but this new person, or maybe an old person that you realize this connection is there, is so important. And so I ask about your feelings here, and I got rest and reconsider in reverse. So, with this, there could be a lot of struggles around sleep or dreams, right? Like, are you taking, did you just take some time? That's what it feels like. You just took some time to really think about, like, where do I need to reconsider things, but now, okay? And the universe is like, hey, spirit, whatever you want to call it here, they're like, hey, take the lead in this situation. Your feelings like, okay, this is my life, right? This is my life too. I matter. That's where your feelings are. And I love that because I struggle with that a lot of times, and I have believe and succeed here. So this is just you knowing that it's your time, right? Especially with this destiny card come into play, and the believe you're feeling like you believe you can succeed. Like, that is amazing, being able to believe in yourself and understanding that it's your time to have success, and to know that you are worthy, and to know that no matter what, ultimately it just feels so good right now. It might not look that great on the outside. But, I'm just playing. But I mean, honestly, the feeling is good. Also, I want to make sure I bring to light for you all this, and I'm getting sequences when it comes to numbers everywhere. I have 11, I have 10. This is being filmed on the 11th. Like, there's just duplicates everywhere. You have 6 and 6, you have the 4 and 4. So this is showing me that you're really in a good flow right now. You're exactly where you're meant to be. So trust in divine timing, and kind of just enjoy this right now, right? Just take the flow one day at a time. And, ultimately with your relationships, when you're finding your settle and your calm and your flow, then your relationships will connect with that as well. So this was really good. But I did ask here what lies beneath. These are some naughty cards. But it says watching shit go down, every or enjoying the gossip. It did come out in reverse. So this is, you're maybe not enjoying the gossip and you don't want to be around it right now, and you're more secluded within yourself, which is okay. Um, why not take a little bit of time for yourself, since Libras tend to take care of everyone else and surround the worlds around them. Other people, they can create that boundary for themselves. We're allowed to as well. So, but maybe do consider watching a movie and kicking back and relaxing, and, maybe avoid that drama. You don't have to be in the middle of it, right? I'm not telling you to disassociate. So then I ask, what is blocking you? And I got inner darkness. Okay. And whenever I read this, what know that this might not be your inner darkness, but the person that's in this situation that, you know, that is triggering you, you know, know that. But ultimately, know that, let's see here, the block is simply being too hard on yourself. We are sometimes so close to the pain that we don't see the bigger picture of why our pain is valid and just how much we do on this journey of life. Remember that you are allowed to struggle, and please don't compare yourself to anyone else. However similar they may seem, all of the journeys are different. Also, be aware of spiraling into the darkness. When we're triggered, it's easy to think of all the things that have gone wrong in our lives, when in reality, it was just one thing that sparked the downward slide. Instead of hitting the self destruct button and circling the drain, pause and give yourself a hug through the pain, right? Be understanding and patient with yourself always, not just right now. And then I did get here, I want to make sure that I am expressing what I need. Also, understand where you're at right now, because the universe is saying that there's a deeper lesson that you can gain to carry the wisdom with you later. And, with me, whenever I look at situations like this, I feel like it's kind of a gain of your superpower, right? And to know and understand that the impossible can be possible. That came through really strong in my meditation. And to be sure that you are a guide right now, not um, don't dominate, right? So if you're trying to help someone, come from the heart and the expectations of you can only do what you can do, and just be supportive, right? And then I got the mantra, I am not, I am not a variable that adjusts to everyone else's comfort. My needs are a priority and peace is a requirement. So that was really important in this time for you, Libra. And the shadow work question that I got here in my meditation was, where am I choosing harmony over my own honesty? And that's really deep for me. So really think about that. That I do that sometimes because I people please so that I don't have conflict. And that's not honest for us. We got to come forward and make sure we speak of what we need to. Also, there's a trigger here around growth. um, Maybe you're outgrowing other people or your situation, and it's time to elevate, and the universe is like, come on, let's go, we have a bigger plan for you. But you're inside like not understanding this, because like, why do I have to change everything about me? I don't know, that's why it just come through like that. So this was the other shadow work question that I pulled, that I like to look at the situation that we're speaking of, that may be a triggered situation, to help you work through it, okay? On whom am I placing blame right now? A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. So today's soul action will be take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all the victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart, you will be led. I mean, that is out this. Yeah, I love it. It's great advice. And I just looked over here and I see this spacious mind and soul. And so I'm going to end this by saying be sure to know your body, your worth, right? Pay attention to how you're feeling and allow this happiness to shine out bright, and your beauty and your love and all of that. And, just be mindful of who it is that you are allowing in your close quarters. Okay, guys, I understand how relationships can be difficult, and just go for the ride, guys, because opportunities. All right, I love you guys so much. Bye for now.